From the comforting arms of Bellevue to the electrifying pace of the city, my life transformed in ways I could never have imagined. Once wrapped in a cocoon of love and trust, a devastating betrayal by Damien pushed me out, making me question everything I held dear. I remember the pangs of pain, the numbing nights, and the struggle to find a foothold amidst the city's chaos. Yet, this is not just a tale of loss. It's the story of my rebirth. In the city's maze, I found more than just a fresh start. Alongside Maya, a beacon of strength and ambition, we ventured into the tech world, creating Lux Life. This wasn't merely an app. It was our dream molded into digital reality, a bridge between luxury and the everyday. But my journey wasn't only about corporate successes or accolades. It was about confronting the wounds Damien had inflicted, the shadows that loomed large even as Lux Life shone bright. There were reacquaintances, unexpected and intense. Encounters that reopened old scars but also offered closure. Every step, every setback, every victory shaped me, teaching me resilience, the power of forgiveness, and the beauty of new beginnings. So, come walk with me. Dive into my narrative, witness my rise from the depths of heartbreak, my relentless drive in the tech realm, and my eventual reconciliation with the past. This isn't just my success story. It's the testament of how, even when shattered, the human spirit can piece itself back together, stronger and more radiant than ever. My name is Amanda, and this is my story. I'd often walked the idyllic streets of Bellevue, feeling the sun-dappled leaves caress my face. It wasn't just the beauty of the town that charmed me, but also the dreams it held. Every brick, every corner, and every smile I exchanged with the townsfolk spoke of the life I'd painstakingly built with Damien. The town had been a silent witness to our story. We met at the Bellevue Summer Fair. He, with his hazel eyes and quick wit, had approached me at one of the stalls. Hours were spent talking, laughing, and sharing our dreams. It wasn't long before we found ourselves deeply in love, and with that love, we built our dream, a boutique hotel at the edge of town. Years blurred into one another as our hotel grew in popularity. The scents of fresh roses, the hum of our busy staff, and the laughter of our guests were the soundtrack of my life. Each corner of the hotel whispered stories of our combined dreams. I vividly remember designing the rooms, selecting fabrics for the curtains, and poring over menu cards for our in-house restaurant. Late evenings often saw me in our garden, sipping on a cup of tea, surrounded by the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The soft glow of the fairy lights, intertwined with the branches, created a magical ambience. Everything felt right. Everything felt perfect. That was until the day reality came crashing down. Curiously sorting through paperwork in our study one afternoon, I stumbled upon bank notices. My heart raced as I scanned through the shocking numbers. The hotel was in deep financial trouble. How had this happened? I'd been so meticulous with our funds, always ensuring we lived within our means. Confronting Damien that evening, my world shattered. The man I'd loved, trusted, and built a life with confessed to his mistakes. Not only had he gambled away our savings, but he'd also hidden his affair. The pain was unbearable. Our dream was slipping through my fingers, replaced by hurt, confusion, and a torrent of questions. In my heartbreak, Maya's voice was a balm. My best friend since college, she'd always been my anchor. We had shared countless nights talking about our dreams and aspirations. "Come to the city," she gently urged. "You deserve a fresh start." A sleepless night followed, but by dawn, the decision was made. Bellevue held too many memories, and I needed to distance myself. Packing was heart-wrenching. Each object, each memory was a stark reminder of my broken dreams. But I couldn't stay. I needed to rebuild myself. As I boarded the train, leaving behind the town, the hotel, and the man I had once adored, my heart was heavy with grief. But amidst the sorrow, a tiny flame of hope flickered. It was time to redefine myself. The deafening sounds of the city's hustle greeted me as I disembarked from the train. The towering buildings dwarfed me, their imposing structures a stark contrast to the comforting embrace of Bellevue's open landscapes. It felt like an alien world, one where everyone was on a mission, their faces set with determination, their pace unfaltering. Maya's apartment, located in the heart of the city, became my refuge. From her window, the cityscape spread out like a sea of lights, twinkling as day turned to night. The constant hum of traffic, the distant sirens, and the occasional laughter from the streets below were both unsettling and strangely comforting. Maya, ever the pillar of strength, took it upon herself to immerse me in city life. From introducing me to the local delicacies at the street corners to navigating the maze of the metro, she was my guide. But what intrigued me the most was her work. She was a project manager at a tech firm, a world I knew little about. Day by day, I tried to understand the intricacies of her job. Meetings, pitches, brainstorming sessions. It was all so foreign to me. Yet, amidst this confusion, an idea began to germinate. The world of tech was vast, filled with possibilities. I realized there was a gap, an untouched niche that combined luxury hospitality with technology. One evening, as Maya and I sat on her balcony, I hesitantly shared my thoughts. To my surprise, she was ecstatic. "You need to pitch this," she declared, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "It's revolutionary." Weeks went by as I worked on my idea. With Maya's guidance, I learned the ropes of the tech world, attending workshops, networking events, and countless seminars. As my concept took shape, I named it Lux Life, an app that would seamlessly integrate luxury services for high-end clients, offering them experiences like never before. Drafting a proposal, securing meetings, and finding potential investors became my daily grind. The world of business suits, PowerPoint presentations, and venture capitalists was daunting. More than once, I found myself battling doubts and insecurities. Is this truly for me? I often pondered. Can I succeed in a domain I know so little about? One particularly challenging day, after a disheartening meeting with potential investors, I returned to Maya's apartment feeling defeated. The memories of Bellevue, of my failed dreams, seemed to haunt me. But Maya, sensing my despair, enveloped me in a warm hug. "You've got this," she whispered. "Remember why you started." With renewed vigor, I delved deeper into the development of Lux Life. And as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the app began to gain traction. From initial skeptics, there emerged a growing number of believers. Lux Life's potential was undeniable. It promised something the market had never seen, and I was at its helm. As the one-year anniversary of my move to the city approached, Lux Life was set for its official launch. Invitations were sent, the media was buzzing, and anticipation was high. But even as I prepared for this monumental moment, my thoughts often drifted back to Bellevue, to the past I had left behind. The launch date was set in a prestigious city hotel, an ironic twist considering my history with hospitality. The venue was abuzz with journalists, potential clients, investors, and a sea of curious faces. As I stood backstage, adjusting my outfit and going over my speech one last time, anxiety gripped me. Could I really pull this off? I thought. What if it fails? But when the lights dimmed and I stepped onto the stage, something changed. The crowd's attentive gaze, the hushed whispers, and the weight of the moment fueled a newfound confidence in me. With every slide I presented, every feature of Lux Life I described, the audience seemed more intrigued, their skepticism replaced by genuine interest. The questions post-presentation were relentless, but I was prepared. Hours of rehearsals with Maya had made me ready for almost anything. As the event concluded and the applause echoed in my ears, I knew Lux Life was set to be a game changer. However, the biggest shock awaited me at the after-party. Engrossed in a conversation with a group of investors, I felt a tap on my shoulder. Turning around, I was met with a pair of familiar hazel eyes. "Damien, why are you here?" was the only thought that raced through my mind. His appearance was altered, the confident charm replaced by a look of exhaustion and regret. Before I could say anything, he began. "I had to see it for myself. The rumors about your success, they're all over Bellevue, and now the city." Taken aback, I tried to find words. "Damien, this isn't the time or place." But he persisted. "I'm genuinely happy for you, and I need you to believe that. I've realized my mistakes, the pain I caused, but seeing you here, I understand why you had to leave. You were meant for bigger things." It was overwhelming. A mix of emotions coursed through me: anger, sorrow, disbelief. "Thank you," I muttered, excusing myself from the conversation. The night was a blur after that. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind. Lux Life was an instant success. Its seamless integration of luxury with technology caught the attention of many, leading to numerous collaborations, partnerships, and business offers. Maya and I, once dreamers in a small town, were now names recognized in tech circles. Yet, Damien's unexpected appearance lingered in my mind. His words, his regretful demeanor, haunted my thoughts. It wasn't about reconciliation or forgiveness. It was the closure I never realized I needed. Our paths had diverged, but in that fleeting moment, there was an understanding, a silent acknowledgement of our past and the separate futures we were heading towards. Months transformed into a mosaic of memories, each tile reflecting a milestone for Lux Life. The app was now global, with a user base that spread across continents. My life, once shattered in Bellevue, was being meticulously pieced together in the city. But success, as gratifying as it was, came with its own set of challenges. Late nights became a norm, with sleep being a luxury I could seldom afford. Every morning, as I looked at my reflection, the toll was evident. The lines on my face deepened, the sparkle in my eyes dimmed, and a persistent fatigue gnawed at me. But driven by ambition and a desire to prove myself, I soldiered on. One such evening, as I pored over sheets of data in my high-rise office, the city lights painting a surreal picture outside, Maya walked in. Her face mirrored my exhaustion, but there was an urgency in her eyes. "We need to talk," she began. The discussion that ensued was a wake-up call. Maya was concerned, not just about the business, but about me. "You've built something incredible," she said, her voice a mix of pride and concern. "But at what cost? I see you pushing yourself, and it scares me." It wasn't just the work. It was the unresolved emotions, the past that I hadn't quite left behind. Damien's surprise visit, while providing some closure, had reopened old wounds. I realized I hadn't truly processed my feelings or allowed myself to heal. Seeking solitude, I took a sabbatical. The mountains, with their serene landscapes and crisp air, beckoned. Days turned into nights as I trekked, meditated, and journaled, addressing the chaos within. The breathtaking vistas provided a backdrop for introspection. One morning, perched atop a cliff, overlooking a sprawling valley, clarity dawned. While ambition and success were crucial, they couldn't be at the expense of my well-being. I needed balance. Additionally, I acknowledged the hurt Damien caused, but recognized the importance of moving on, genuinely leaving the past behind. Returning to the city, I implemented changes. Boundaries were set in my professional life, ensuring I had time for myself. Maya and I even initiated wellness programs for our team. But the most significant change was personal. I began therapy, addressing the emotional baggage I had long ignored. As weeks turned to months, the transformation was palpable. The laughter returned, the fatigue faded, and life, once a relentless marathon, became a more enjoyable journey. A year post my sabbatical, standing on my balcony, the city stretching below, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The trials, the betrayals, the heartbreaks, they had shaped me, propelled me towards a destiny I hadn't imagined. On a whim, I penned a letter to Damien, not seeking reconciliation but offering forgiveness. It was a step, I realized, not for him but for me. Bellevue, the town of dreams and heartbreaks, was a chapter I would always cherish. But the city, with its challenges and triumphs, was my present and future. Here, amidst the chaos, I had found myself,